Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Open TTD, where this video is going to be a little long, and I apologize because I'm saying it in advance that we will be spending 250 million to spread out into services without having the game run, essentially, because I just think overall with me doing all these additions to adding more resources and everything else that it's just growing the money essentially, and I want it to be where like you kind of have to wait for the money to grow. But essentially, I think with our train highway and everything going from city to city not far away, that it will just keep growing with the mail and everything going from spot to spot. But I will be going into multiple areas throughout this video to set up for the future in the game, as we are in the biggest map of OpenTTD. So I am going to start off with this area where we ended off with the bus stations and trying to work my way back up to getting the buses going all the way up the bus highway to make it kind of complete in quotation marks, because it is complete. All the roads are connected and all the cities. It's just overall getting the buses to and there. So if you consider that truly complete, well, then it's truly complete with all the buses going from all the way up the highway. But if you're considering it complete at this moment where the road is connected, essentially, but the services aren't there. So that's what is literally drawing the line of the difference maker of it being done or not done. Consider however you feel. But we are going to Nunth Ill, and we built an airport, I guess, apparently. I probably put it in there to also have airplanes go up and down the Highway 2 for a different way of making services for the buses and mail and all that jazz. So we will see. They think we're mediocre, so we still have the opportunity to add bus stations, which is a good thing because then they will like us in the future. And then I'll just do that right away. Kind of do that. I just kind of link it up. Kind of go right there. And have that linked up. That linked up for the time being, because they also can build their own roads as the city essentially is growing, as I changed that setting for the game, because I had it where the cities cannot build their own roads and everything else. So I decided to change that. That way I wouldn't have to go into each city for growth. So we're going to close that. We're going to clone it, hit our control button, and have that many going. So it will be going back and forth, and we will also add a depot right there for the depot, and then we're going to add another one in the middle here. So that is connected. And so now, essentially, whatever I am doing with these cities, it is crucial. Oh, there must be like a cell tower there. Okay. That is fine. But it's crucial because they can easily go from liking you to thinking you're atrocious and won't let you build anything within the city, which is not good because then you can't build anything, and then I have to have the game run. And the goal is to use this whole 250 million and not have to run the game to gain money or essentially gain a reputation. What we could do also is with this nearby towns, I'm going to say with this one, but we could have a train going back and forth, and then essentially having a spot where goods are being transported. But we will add the bus stations first. I like these section ones where you can just select on the road and they actively going instead of these stations where then it goes in kind of going into a parking lot and going back out. I just prefer these instead of those. That way it's easy transition to essentially be efficient with gaining money. There, we'll add that. Did it reach? It didn't reach yet, so we will do that. We'll do that. So that way it's connected in some way, shape, or form. And when the city grows and whatnot, it will already put one there. I will add another one right there. It will grow on its own and do its own thing. So with this small of a town, we're going to have one doing all four of them. So I will not include this one in it. So then it's going to do all four. And then also go to those two as well. How far? We'll also add that one. And then we'll clone it, hit our control, and do that many. So there's going to be one roaming around that city the whole entire time, with it being so small. So it will potentially grow very rapidly with all of the passengers going in and out of the city and then coming from North Hill and down below to that city. So wanted to just added that one real quick because it's a little distance, and we could add a train route because this is an iron ore for a steel mill, but it kind of also doesn't look like there's that much iron ore around, but there's a lot of mills around. And then we could add oil stuff to the oil refineries. Um, Afterwards, if we still have money, to finishing this highway with all of the cities that still need their um, buses to make it full or satisfied, essentially. Not full, but satisfied for the service that needs to get to there. And then, is this place growing? It's not growing yet, but eventually it will. I believe there should be boats, or if I didn't set it up yet, I did. Oh, they're down here. That's why they're creeping up on me. But we're gonna clone the ships though. How many ships are there? There's 2 of them. I wonder if they do accept that, but I wonder if it's waiting for full loads is the thing for the thing. Hold on 1 second. There we go. So that is kind of the holdup on there because of the full load, and that one has 400. That one has 400, which I believe would go very quickly if this is unload and take cargo. So if there is no cargo, it will just, or if there's like 2 passengers, it will take the 2 passengers and then go right away. And they're pretty quick overall boats, so they go pretty fast. And with now the buses are going to go between this city and this city, there should be more passengers waiting there, so then it should be a kind of a hot commodity of, hey, want to go to other cities on this, so to speak, ferry to another city? Hop on. And this will give it the opportunity to do that. I'll add that there. We're just going to add that to connect to there. Connect that to there. I'll add that. So there's that. And there's that. And we'll just add that. I'll do this to, like, if there's multiple ways to connect, that way it's like I keep kind of saying efficiency. That's kind of what this game is kind of the goal, I should say. Kind of the goal for this game is efficiency, as I keep saying it, but I know before this would get like kind of, it may seem like it would get annoying because you would go to each city, branch it out and everything else, and take so much time, and then overall, like within a video or something like that, it may take like 15 minutes because I'm worrying about expanding the city so much. And now since I switched that setting in the game, all I have to do is wait for the city to grow and it'll expand itself. But for something like this, I will do that if there's like kind of 2 alleys to and from, and also kind of connecting the city. That way it's, the buses don't have any like dead ends to go to. That's essentially what the goal and the plan is when it comes to doing that. So that's why I'm doing this kind of as quick as possible and moving on to the next city to add the buses. And I think I missed this section then. I did indeed. These two. So it's a good thing that I'm kind of going back and going up the highway in itself. So we will have station right there, another station right there, and right there, essentially. We'll make a bridge from here to there, and there we go. And the prime goal for having stations and everything else is 4 stations in a city, village or town, whatever it may be called, to have it grow. So I'll have that right there. I kind of have them in the nonchalant areas of like where prime building could happen. It's kind of like a retail store or something. Like you'd want it kind of on the side of something if you're gonna want a store, because you wouldn't want it on a highway where it can get congested and you're going 60 70 miles an hour. Then all of a sudden you got this convenience store that's right off of the highway. The parking lot entry is the highway, and that would not be good for the store, and it would not be good for the customers to pull into that parking lot at that rate of speed. Obviously, you'd have to slow down, but then it would just be kind of congested along the entryway, and it will back up the whole entire highway. So that would be that. And then we will have, essentially, we'll have kind of we're gonna delete them. So we're gonna have it go here, 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 and there, and there. We'll have 4, because it'll break down eventually, and stuff like that. And then I guess I kind of need that window for a new vehicle, high gate. So then we'll have one set go to there, all the way down to there. We'll have that. Then, well, that has that going down this side. We'll have these two. We'll go to there. And have that green. Docks we don't need at the moment. And I'm gonna have that right there. We're gonna have multiple, but I think the cutoff for road vehicles is 5,000. So, and that includes oil trucks and all that stuff. And so, when it comes to this, towards the end, we may have to be picky on what we choose, on what does what, essentially. If it's going to be train, if it's going to be plane, or, you know, vehicle and stuff. So there's that. And then we're going to clone it. We'll do 4. And then we're going to need new vehicle to do these 2. The next city would be this. Okay. So we're going to have that pop up. Going to keep that up for right now. We are going to, if the city will allow us, which they won't, because they probably think we are atrocious. So what's going to happen is we're going to fund buildings and fund local construction. We are not going to hit the pause button to play it, but what we can try and do is do some landscaping, and that usually does the trick. Because I'm guessing all of these mayors or whatnot within these cities like the improvement of their environment all the time. So, to make them on their good side, you plant a lot of trees. And hopefully, that fixes the issue. Now we're poor. That is still good. We are able to bring some bus stations into the city. And they will appreciate it in the long run, because there's going to be passengers going in and out either on boat or on bus. And we're going to add this city too as well on it. So we're going to do that. So we will there we go. Didn't accept anything, which is fine. So then we'll add that like that. Add that like that. Kind of add middle streets. There we go. I'll add that road like that. And I'll add that like that. Then we'll add depot right there. We're going to make the Highgate bus. We're going to have it go here, here. There we go. So it goes Westwood Central. And then after that, we'll go here, 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 here. And then we'll do 4. So that's all good. Then this one has the mines, and then you can go to here and here. Then do that 4 times, and we're done with that. So we added that to it, and then we'll see if we can add that, which we can. We'll do that. Then what we can do is hit coverage on the buses, and we can have it do that, end of orders, then go to here, and it will copy all 4 of those buses going to do those 4, or multiple locations. And we're going to do that for right now. We're not going to add them just yet, but what we will do is add bus stations before it's too late, where we have to plant trees, and sometimes even that won't be good enough. So try to choose wisely on what we do, essentially. So we'll add the road to there, then we'll combine these 2 cities together. We're at the 257 mark, so we've gone through at least $1 million of doing all of this construction projects, of basically finishing off the bus highway. Well, it's finished, but adding all the buses to it. So, and then also we're going to be doing some splurging if possible, which I believe we can do on other services, because that's the whole part of this video. I'm sorry if it gets very, very long on me doing all these things, but essentially that's the main goal. Trying to do kind of this challenge and see how far it goes. And you can only do that like once. So what we'll have is we'll have these buses go through there, and you're going to be thinking, why would you do that if you have buses that are already doing that already, and go back to the towns where they are, because they're already going through there and they're doing that? Well, the thing is with those buses doing that, they are going to bring it down to other cities that are down south more, and then to move them up, we're going to have more buses to bring them from that location to the other location. So essentially, there's buses going in and out of the city like crazy. It's kind of like real life, where you have city buses. Yes, it may move throughout the city, but essentially, kind of like other busing companies, you have busing companies that go from point A to point B, whether it be, Las Vegas to Los Angeles. You got the bus depot, and you got, workers that take you from that destination to that other destination. I don't know if it's true if there's buses going from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, but I would imagine so in some capacity, that it's kind of like a real life example where you're going from those 2 cities. There's going to be a bus going from point A to point B. And then there's also going to be buses within like Las Vegas or within Los Angeles bringing people around the city to get to where they want to go, whether it be, the Strip in Las Vegas, or, Los Angeles going to, the Hollywood Hill, with the big sign of Hollywood. It just overall, just trying to give examples on why am I doing this. So, and then they will go there. So that will be added on. Then we hit the clone, We'll do 4. Just 3 is just an odd number. Don't want an odd number. You want an even number. Could add this to it. It's kind of close, so that's what we're gonna do. And I try to not necessarily stay away from, but try to keep it within what is already structured within the city, because as soon as you start trying to build like this, it will tell you that you're atrocious, and then you have to do the whole tree thing again. And I try to avoid that as much as possible. So I can just go in, build the stations, and then all I have to do is build the depot, and essentially supply the buses, and that's about it. Then the buses does the work for me. It builds my business reputation for this open TTD. So do that, do that. Because if I were to do this and then add a station there, it's going to say the city won't allow you to do that. And I want the city to allow me to want them to have these services so we can make them happy and people come to the city. So, and especially with one of the options is advertise, like an advertisement campaign to try and get people to come to that city. Because why wouldn't you? You'd always want people to come to your city, visit it, shop, maybe, go to a restaurant, have a nice meal, all that jazz, just like you would in real life. And that's what they have as options in this game for it, which I thought was kind of funny. But in real life, that's what you do. There's like a city near me that didn't think that it didn't really happen with advertisements, other than like the big cities like I've mentioned, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Washington D.C., and Philadelphia, and big cities like that, where there's many things that can happen there, whether it be professional sports or Washington D.C. has presidential stuff, or overall in general it has just monuments of the Lincoln Memorial and all that jazz within that city, where the city is like advertising the semi-pro team that is part of the G League and all these other things, and trying to advertise to allow people to know that, hey, we have these activities that are happening throughout, whether it be the week, whether it be the month, and just try to bring people to come to that city. And I just think that's cool that there's jobs out there that be like, hey, I advertise, I market for the city of yada yada to kind of generate events for people to come to the city. Because otherwise it'd be like, advertisements of professional sports or whatnot, or even also that's near me, like professional plays like Broadway plays. We have a performing arts center, and so you'd see ads of what play is coming, whether it be The Lion King, whether it be Wicked, whether it be, all these other big name plays, that they go to this performing arts center to do what they love to do. And it's pretty cool. So we'll have buses go from here to those 2 locations. Get 4 of them. Because I always kind of say the more the merrier. That way it gives you an opportunity to spread it out quite a bit, and they do get kind of congested after a while because there is more and more people. Um, Essentially, we're going to look at towns with population ratings, sort by Fort, Heffenburg, Henfingburg, that has 55,000 people and it's growing out right here. Hedberg Springs has 54,000, 52 for Aburn Ford. Dennington has 50,000, and I even said for like a challenge was to get a city of 10,000 people, and I was like, let's see what city is gonna get like 1 million or something, with how big these cities are. And why is this city kind of sad right now? What is being said right now? Very poor. How am I very poor? We're gonna fund new buildings. 8 seconds. Local. Yeah, 57. Coverage. We have 8 vehicles and they're all making money. What is making this city not happy? Unless if it was like just gaining like all these services of and the train is just coming. So I don't know. It's probably has to do with the trains. And that's what the issue is. And I've added more trains to it. So it just seems after a while you don't see any. Because it is towards this other half of the city. And this has grown quite tremendously. Local authority, outstanding. We're going to fund new buildings. And local road construction. We're going to do that with this as well. What is the ratings for this? There is no ratings because there is no supply. Essentially, eventually there will be a supply as the city will grow into it, but for the time being, there is no supply because there is no city that has reached these two, and so therefore there's kind of no need for it. Where are they going? So what is the route? Rhinestone, Fluffing Field, Rhinestone. Oh, so kind of trying to expand that in a different way. I probably should have put the airport essentially on the other side over here, but I think this was like kind of the most flat area. So until the city like grows, and then I'll say now accepting passengers, it won't suffice. How's this doing? 69 transported, 69%. What about this? 69%. We'll do that for right now. Like essentially, yes, I would want full load, but to make it go faster and everything else. Otherwise, we can clone that, that. There's that. So that is that for that. Otherwise, edge. We have nothing in that town. Unless if technically this whole train thing is registered into it, and that's why. We're gonna go to there. Yeah, it's the train. It's registered into it. We'll eventually find the one that's on C, that's on the route as it's this one, because there's a red mark on it, and that means we've touched it and they do not like us for invading their space. We're essentially chopping down trees to build roads. That's what it comes down to. So we have that going, and then we have this connected. So then you can go down here. We don't need these popped up, but we can do this. Do that. Because there's road there already. Okay. Well, what we can do. Nah, I'm not gonna blow it up. We'll just have to add one like that right there. Essentially, I don't want to do that, but it's kind of the best option we have at the moment. So there's that. That in the middle. Kind of branch it out a little bit. Do that. Do that. That. And we can then attach this to right there. Which kind of makes sense. And there's that. And then we can have a depot right there. And new vehicles. We're going to essentially have two roam around. And then woods. Okay. That would be green. So those two would go between those two, and then I would put a depot here, and then also one right there to send. That's for those two. Then we will have this one. So that we'll do 4 of them because it's a long journey. And then just kind of take a while, and then we are at a new city. So we'll do that right there, that right there, and that. And then I'll go right there. I'll also have another one at that corner. And overall, we'll do that to there. So yeah, we are at $255 million. So we are still going strong. Very, very strong. And part of it is also I'm giving the local authority ways to fund all their stuff. I think we're atrocious now, but eventually when we get the services rocking and rolling, they will think otherwise. So we get this new vehicle, the high gates, biome. I'll do that as well. There's that. Go a little ways, and then we go up here. So essentially within this kind of episode, we are just either I lost my train of thought. It's like A, attaching and adding a service, or B, just making a whole new service line. essentially is what I was trying to say, but I kind of had a brain fart. And mind went blank for a second. Like, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to do? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the word that you're trying to say. So, we're at 254 million, and we're still going strong. So, it's like overall, we're able to be like, yo, fund new buildings. You can grow. Fund new buildings. You can grow. And we're just gonna add them down here right away. So there, it has to be flat. Go right there. Go right there. And right there. And we'll go right there with that. So, new vehicles, the high gates. And a lot of this is also a lot of clicking. So if you're one of those that wants to have a game that doesn't really involve a lot of clicking, this game may not be a game for you, to be honest. So as you can see, I'm doing all this stuff. It is a lot of clicking, and doing a whole lot of stuff. So it's just one of those games where it's like, it's enjoyable. Not saying that there's nothing wrong with this game, because essentially if there kind of was something wrong with this game, I probably wouldn't be having a series on it on my channel. It's a great game. It's just a lot of clicking and making sure you have stuff going from point A to point B, because for a few videos and stuff like that, there was a lot of them that were lost. But I did end up fixing them, or it's the city that I fund the local construction that is essentially fixing the roads, and there's roadblocks. So it gets very can be very chaotic, but it gets very in depth on what you want to do. If that makes sense to you. So we will add some depots there. Also one down in the corner. And a key thing about everything when it comes to this, if you are building a railroad or a road, you are going to be paying more for that than the green grass. So just be aware of that for when you make whatever decision you need to do to get your stuff from point A to point B. So I need to look at to and from. Okay, so they're going from down, or here to down. So we will have these two. Two up there. There we go. And then have that. I'll add the city to it as well. Because I don't have it essentially where it needs a full load, but it will be meaningful if they kind of go the long way, because then the other stations will fill up, and then when it comes back, it will be full. There. Hopefully. And it's just a way to throw, money into a town as well. I'll add one right there. So I'll add there we go. And then also here too as well. Yeah. There. There we go. Multiple buses take care of these three, which is nice because they're super close. I don't know why I closed that when I'm going to need it again. There we go. At least it will be fine. So we'll have that. It did not. I just guessed and it attached perfectly. So there's that. And I'll have that too as well. And then that. So we will something right there. Some right there. And that will be going here. There we go. Will be that. We may want to add another stop. See if they like us now. Of course, we're able to add that stop. Add it right there. And we'll go here. Do that. So that's what they'll do. They'll take care of that. And then we'll have another set. Go do that. And go all the way down to there. Did not mean to do that. We'll have that right there. I'll have another one right there. I'll have one right there. One right there. I'll be right there. There we go. So we will add more cities into the mix. Set that right there. There. Go there, there. Go there. And then we'll go to there. That would make sense. And add that. That's added. That's added. That. So we got that connected, which is nice. I think we just have to get this connected with that up there. There's those buses. So yeah, sorry for like if there's dead moments. It's just a lot of thinking, and sometimes can't talk and think at the same time. So that is why there's dull moments or non-speaking moments. So right there, one right there. Capture that. So we will expand the city a little bit. Oh, there's something there. Okay. There we go. There's that. So that's a start for them. Then the Highgate. And then there's that. We'll kind of look at the map where we are. That there is decent amount of work. Because I have this is where we are and kind of have it going right here, then all the way up to there. So we're standing pretty good at what we need to do overall, which is good. So we got that going. Should have a lot of buses going through it, which is nice. Then we have this town right here. So honestly, This could be the whole video of just like adding buses to the highway. If that takes... How is this growing? But okay. So we're able to add go. There we go for that. Okay. So that. There's that. Okay. That should look good. And then it'll also go down here. So that's where it goes. And we are in it for the long haul, because we're just doing this and it has only taken 8 million off. So this is extraordinary. There's that. There we go. And I'm trying to make it where passengers are automatically in the catchment, but that may not always be the case on what can happen. Go. And these two towns. There's that. That. There's that. So that is completely done. Left one right there. One right there. I'll have to. And we'll add a depot right there. But not depot. Now that all the way go down to here. There we go. Then we could go past that, but since it is part of it, we will add that. We're gonna I'm just adding this because why not? We got 250 mil now to work with. So it works out. There we go. we'll do, essentially we don't need that many, but we're going to do that many. So I think that will be good for that. So that kind of helps us out in that nature. So then this helps that too as well. Just do that. Okay. So we just need new vehicles. Buses that go from here to here. I'm gonna make it worth the while. And do that. So that makes that easier. So we don't have to worry about that because of the whole train stuff going on. And I should probably help with these other cities. Essentially, if I just keep doing it to not like every city, but cities that are in the process of, building more stuff like that, then it's gonna help me, take down the 250 mil as I did that for like multiple cities, so it's going to help me out. So what we'll do also, we're gonna do kind of some bus stations. In there. Go. Do Highgate bus. We'll do. And also go over there. Let's come over there, or help them a lot with the growth process. And now since I did that big lot 2 as well, I honestly also think of doing like an airport right there too. It's gonna help that as well, which, why not? So hub airports aren't report. Okay, it's always an option, but okay. So let's make it happen. There. Covered in trees. They still think we're atrocious. Okay. We can't do it. So that's an example of something we still can't do it even though we planted all the trees. So, it's a bummer. Then we go back to here. And get that. And out there. Middle. One right there. So this one, high gate. Go for that. I should see supposed to do it right next to. There we go. There's that. And that. I decided there for that. Okay. Then we have these cities as well. They may get close to each other. But it's kind of the best I can do. Okay, now we're good. So build a dock, build a dock. More there. And build a dock there. Okay, that is good to know because, oh wait, I need to go back to it because then I can build a depot right there, depot right there, one right there, one right there. So what's gonna happen? We're gonna have passenger ships. Or maybe you don't have that right away. Yeah, unless just go to the docks and just do more routine stuff of taking the people and moving them. So is there any coverage? There is. Okay. So that's all good to go. Okay. There we go. There we go. We'll add that like that. So it really doesn't matter since we have all this money to spend. Essentially. Just gonna put that right there. We'll have 10 buses doing that. Don't need that open. So then go to this town. There. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go for that. Go. It's good setup for that. So I'm not trying to get into too depth about it. Just trying to move kind of swiftly about it. That should be a good start for that. And there's that. There we go. Don't want that. There we go. There we go. And there's that. And there we go. And then there we go. And then this one that's very close. And there's that. Let's add on. And essentially, just trying to make sure all of the roads are connected, so that way the buses can move and don't really necessarily have a dead end, but all they really do is just turn around. And that's about it. So I just try to avoid that, the way it's smooth going. You essentially don't have to worry about all the changes in direction. So there's that. Go. There we go. That's nice. These two cities are very close to each other. What's that? There we go. We'll have a set just going around. Those two. And then yes, It will start down here. And okay. Essentially, oh, you can just do that as well. So if I missed any, now they're green. Okay. Do that. There's that. That. And we get these buses getting ready to go. And that is that. And within this area, though, too, it seemed fitting to put a large airport right there. And then a large airport right there. Yeah. Maybe another bank breaker. There. And it's gonna rapidly grow. So I'm also going to evolve the city. it will nice to um, there we go. Okay. So it's gonna get incorporated somehow, but I don't think it's okay. There we go. There we go. It's connected. There we go. And I may have to make this into a multiple part video, essentially, because I feel like this is going to take forever. And I mean, essentially, it is the bus highway, so I kind of have to do it. Otherwise, it'd be kind of breaking the rule. But since that has happened, but it's a good thing I added some. Okay, we're good now. There we go. go. That. So to make this kind of the most efficient, is we're gonna have its own set of buses that is gonna go around. And then there. Because I didn't hit control, it copies all those orders. And it's saving the game for me. And then we're gonna make it go to all these different cities as well. So it'll be around down there. There. So there's going to be so many buses in this area. But the travel time between there and there is quite extravagant. And then we got this city. And then one down there. So at this point, as long as the roads are connected, I'm going to make a way to connect them and call her good after that. And add one right there. So, oh. And gonna go there. Delete, and delete that. And just have one that's gonna go around the entire time. There we go. And kind of see how far I am. And I'm almost there. I didn't think I was this far, but with this being a long way, um, I will make this into a two part of finishing the bus highway, and we are still going to continue spending money without having the game run. So hopefully you appreciate this video and have a good one.